right, moving on into the night, we move to Mr. Jeff Amplement. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, he is someone who has driven change, quite literally, in Western New York's public transportation landscape. With over a decade of development and planning experience within the transit industry, Jeff has been at the forefront of some of our region's most significant public transportation projects. In his current role as Planning Project Manager in NFTA Metro's Service Planning Department, Jeff manages and provides oversight over Metro's long-range planning initiatives, including the environmental review and preliminary design process for the Buffalo-Amherst-Tonawanda Corridor Transit Expansion Project and Bailey Avenue Bus Rapid Transit Project. Let's go. All right. Previously, Jeff served as assistant manager of the NFTA's Grants and Government Affairs Department, where he helped secure, manage, and advocate for millions of dollars in state and federal funding to support aviation and transit capital projects across the Buffalo-Niagara region. Beyond his professional achievements, Jeff is deeply involved in the community. He serves on the Town of Amherst Historic Preservation Commission and as an adjunct professor of urban planning and community development and Damon University. Jeff holds a bachelor degree in economics and urban studies from Canisius University and a master's degree in urban and regional planning from the University at Buffalo. He is also a graduate of the New York Public Transportation Association Professional Leadership Institution class of 2024. Man, Jeff, your LinkedIn page must be long, dude. Woo. Impressive, man. Let's give it up for Jeff Amplement.
I'll preface this by saying I'm not an architect, I'm a planner, but I'm gonna try and keep this interesting. I don't know much about buildings, but what I do know about is public transit and transit-oriented development. So what I'd like to talk about is our ability to not only expand access throughout the region via transit, but to harness the power of public transit to encourage regional development and achieve long-range planning goals and initiatives. So maybe you've seen this before. This is the original rapid transit network map for Erie County. We developed this in the 1960s, includes, of course, the initial Metro rail line and its extension to Amherst, and then lines elsewhere. Now, we never built this, of course, right? We just did the line in the city of Buffalo for a variety of reasons until today. But a lot has happened since the 1960s and 70s, right? There's rapid growth at the University of Buffalo North Campus, over 30,000 students, faculty, and staff there now. We have rapid development in the town of Amherst from a jobs, employment, and commercial development perspective. And there's the contributing congestion that goes along with that reverse commute pattern. So it's not your typical bedroom suburban community, right? At the same time, the region has endeavored upon some really significant long-range planning efforts, right? And while they all deal on different things such as housing or economic development or campus development, they all arrive at the same conclusion that if we're going to compete with other regions and curb sprawl, we need to invest in existing corridors. And so what bubbled to the top for us was this. After evaluating 36 alternatives, different modes, different alignments, we've come to a locally preferred alternative of extending the Metro Rail from the UB South campus to the UB North campus, a one-seat ride that would connect all the areas in the North Towns to all the commercial activity centers in downtown Buffalo. So we're talking 10 new stations, 2 with park and rides, and what this connects is the largest concentration of people and jobs in the entire region via a high-capacity, affordable transit option, including all 3 UB campuses, the downtown Allen Medical Campus, Canal Side Cobblestone District, and all the residential and commercial areas in between. Right? There's a lot of benefits to this, but what I really want to just focus on today is the potential of this project to catalyze and revitalize underutilized properties throughout this corridor and raise property values. I'm working at this 6-minute thing. All right, but it's already happening, right? If you look at the existing Metro Rail line, look at areas like Canal Side, look at Seneca One Tower, look at the Allen Medical Campus. Those things are not there by mistake, right? They're there because there is a density of people in close proximity to public transit access, right? And so the question is, how do we extend this to a suburban context? And to the town of Amherst's credit, they're looking at achieving this, right? Over the past few years, they've updated their comprehensive plan to introduce for the first time mixed-use zoning districts, and particularly targeting corridors where there's already development and where there'll be potentially a future metro rail line. So this is just an excerpt from that. This shows some of their districts, their mixed-use zoning districts that are already in corridors where there's development, where the metro line would be. And what's important here is that they're no longer focusing just on the use of the land. They're focusing on the form of the land and the form that that land takes and its relationship with its surroundings, right? It's flexible. When you dig into the zoning code particularly, they're no longer looking at just the use, but at the shape, the sitting, the massing of those buildings and how those buildings can contribute to a sense of place, increase walkability, and encourage people to use other modes of transportation than just the car in a suburban context. And they're putting it into action. This is the Boulevard Central District area. It's contained by Sheridan Drive, Niagara Falls Boulevard, and the I-290. There's a lot of grayfield sites in this particular area, but through targeting investments in roadways and infrastructure, lighting, sidewalks, they're looking to transform these grayfield sites into places that can accommodate housing, be denser, be more walkable, and would be close to public transit. This also is the case with the Boulevard Mall site. They're currently in the process of trying to take this via eminent domain, include a new street network in there that it can accommodate amenities, affordable housing, green space, and all in close proximity, again, to high-quality public transit. On our part at the NFT, we're also working with local municipalities like Tonawanda, Amherst, the City of Buffalo, to look at their zoning regulations and see where can we implement some transit-oriented development policies and identify priority infrastructure projects that could also encourage mixed uses, higher density development, complete streets, all near high quality public transit. And so what this has resulted in is us identifying a variety of stationary typologies for the region along the existing and the proposed metro rail line. The top image is what the Boulevard Mall site could look like. The bottom is the Summer Best station, right? It's already existing with potential infill development there. Those were developed with input from the community and also a context of the surrounding area. And really what the end goal is this, right? We want to achieve development that's not typical in a suburban context, that has a sense of place, a character, a feel to it, that you feel like you're in an urban environment, but you're not. And it's in close, again, proximity to affordable transit options. So kind of just tying this all together, right? What makes public transit possible is frequency, reliability, and speed, which we control. But what we don't control is walkability and accessibility at the transit agency. The community does that. But when we combine very context-sensitive station areas with regional planning efforts, we can achieve transit-supportive development that helps drive ridership and supports public transit. And really my public service announcement for today is, no matter how you got here, give us a try. Take one trip a week, 4 or 5 a month. Just hop on the bus, hop on the train, and I promise you, you'll be worth your time. It'll save you time. You'll be able to read a book. You won't be stressed out. I do it every day. I take the train to work, and I really just encourage you to join us. Thanks.